Hello viewers, this is Paladin of Odin, and this is some more Magic the Gathering Online. This is another episode of the Standard Commentary Series, and it looks like we've got Gruul Aggro versus most likely Colossus Aggro. Now, this Gruul deck is doing like a lot of other Gruul decks that I've seen lately in online, is they're playing a lot of blue. And I have yet to see a reason for it. You know, I would think that cutting, down to the two colors would be more efficient, faster, allow you to get more damage out quicker. Because I haven't really seen them use the blue mana. So, Long Tusk Cub, Electrostatic Pummeler, he's up to 8 energy. So, he could have lethal next turn if he has the right buff spells in his hand for the Pummeler. Ooh, Spatial Contortion. -3. So, he would have to spend 6 energy right now to save the Pummeler. And, he has to debate this. It's like, do you save it here and not have enough energy to use it, or do you let it die and hope that you get something else later? But it looks like he's going to save the Pummeler. That's, perfect timing. Before he gets to go on a roll, force him to use almost all of his energy and effectively make Electrostatic Pummeler stay as a 1/1. Voltaic Brawler. Now, something that Colossus has in his favor right now is the Cultivator's Caravan. He can tap the... Oh, no he can't. Sorry. Crew 3. Duh. Attacking in with the Cub and the Pummeler. He's only got one mana open. But he does have 3 energy now. So Glintinous Crane is going to chump block the Pummeler. And Blossoming Defense makes it a 3/3. And doubles it to 6 for some reason. Oh, he didn't block. Sorry. It just looked that way because of the way the board is placed. Wow, that's an awfully bold choice given the fact that your opponent is running aggro with tons of buff spells like Larger Than Life, Blossoming Defense, Built to Smash as well. And now you're at 4. With only 1 blocker, and he has 3 attackers. And he only has to get one of those creatures through, and then buff it, and you're gonna die. Now, he does have 3, 7 off of a Colossus, so he could play one for 4, or not. So it's really going to come down to this. Most likely Gruul is going to go all out here for the kill. And we're just going to have to see if Colossus has what he needs to hold him off. Because at the very... Oh, alright, here we go. 6, 7, 8. Elder Deep Fiend. Okay. So that will let him tap down the creatures so he doesn't have to worry about dying this turn. And it'll also let him pop the Sanctums of Ugin if he chooses to. Like I said, he's already down to 7 here with these two. And with the mana they make, that's 10. So he'd only have to tap for 1 mana to play a Colossus. So, popping the Sanctum, getting himself a Colossus, and popping the other Sanctum to get him a second Colossus. Okay, so that bought him a turn, and playing 2 Colossus in a turn is most likely going to also buy him another turn. And I've seen some pretty nasty plays with Elder Deep Fiend where they play their Colossi in one turn, and then on your opponent's turn you emerge or just flash in an Elder Deep Fiend to tap down all their guys. And then on your turn you kill them because you have, 20 power worth of Colossus on the field and there's nothing they can do about it. So, 2 Prophetic Prisms, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, so that'll finish off the Colossus. Now they are free. And he does have the 2 mana open if he were to have another Elder Deep Fiend in his hand to sacrifice the other Elder Deep Fiend so that he could play it. So theoretically, we could see Colossus win this game here very shortly. And I have to say, I'm not seeing the same thing from Gruul. Now, he could have something... Oh, never mind. I was going to say, you can't really count out the Pummeler, provided he got more energy, because that thing can become ridiculous very, very easily. But, looks like he saw what was coming and conceded. I don't blame him. It looks like Colossus had just enough to break the momentum from Gruul Aggro and be able to build up his board. So, let's go to game 2. Okay, turn 2 Servant of the Conduit from Gruul. And something else that I've seen a lot lately is in this particular matchup, well, not, Gruul, I'm thinking more along the lines of aggro versus Colossus. It doesn't really matter which aggro deck, but, Gruul aggro is very popular because, it's very cheap to build and very easy to run. But that's besides the point. Aggro decks versus Colossus aggro, the thing that I've been seeing a lot lately is the fact that a lot of the time, Colossus only wins because of a very few points of life that he managed to hold on to during the onslaught of the aggro deck. It's come down to, I was going to say single digits, but, that would be 9 through 1. We're talking, like, less than 5. An amount of life that could very easily be done by an aggro deck, but just doesn't happen because it just takes a little too long. And that's the thing with Colossus aggro. If you let them, they only need, like a turn more than you want to give them. And they can easily just turn it around completely, just on a dime, boom, and suddenly you go from, haha, I've got him next turn, to, he just won. But Gruul is rolling out pretty well here. Voltaic Brawler, another Servant of the Conduit. The other side has a Metal Spinner's Puzzle Knot. 6 energy. So, if he can get a Pummeler on the field, and then follow it up... Oh, Kozilek's Return. Very well played here. Against a deck like Gruul Aggro... Oh, and Gruul concedes. I was going to say, against a deck like Gruul Aggro, they have very, very few creatures that can stand up to 2 damage across the board. Servant dies, Voltaic Brawler dies, Long Tusk Cub dies, Electrostatic Pummeler dies unless you have, the energy to save it, or mana open to use buff spells, but, it's just almost their entire deck of creatures dies to that card, and, it fits perfectly into this artifact-based deck. Now, most likely you're never going to get the 5 damage, but you don't really need the 5 damage. 3 mana for 2 damage to each creature is enough against decks like these to just wreck them. And, all he had to do was play it, and Gruul said, I'm done. So, just if you're playing against Colossus Aggro and you're playing as an aggro deck, just be cautious, because, I hesitate to say be cautious, but be warned of the fact that if you're just a little too slow, they can just flip the momentum on you in a heartbeat. But I've rambled on for too long, so I'm going to end it here. That was Gruul Aggro versus Colossus Aggro, and if you liked what you saw, hit that like and subscribe button for me, and I will see you in the next video.